Bubba R go. I'm just saying. Enjoying my morning coffee. Had some breakfast. I usually eat breakfast, which is weird. Growing up, I ate breakfast like a big breakfast. My grandmother insisted. We don't tell our grandmothers no. And if you do, you're wrong. Okay? I'm just saying. I ran across something on the Twitter sphere, and I actually have not seen a lot of dramas in the OSR. I guess the algorithm has figured out that a lot of it's not going to drag me in because I don't give two shits what half you people think. But I saw one Lee put up. It was this Aussie who posted about D&D stuff. Tabletop role-playing games, fantasy role-playing games, classic gaming, vintage gaming, whatever you folks are putting your tag on there for your to differentiate your product from the rest of the market, right? My tribe, your tribe. I mean, to be honest, it's tribalism. I'm okay with that. As a nationalist, I'm really okay with a lot of tribalism. But VTTs versus table games, which is better, blah, 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 why this sucks. And I have had people comment on this off and on. And I guess this is the one part of the great spinning wheel of topics of outrage, blah, blah, blah. I don't mind VTTs. I've gotten to the point of my local crew, and I won't call it stagnant. I'll just say we have different tastes. And then when you go online, you expand your pool of players to a global market, depending upon your sleep schedule, right? What's wrong with that? It's a tool. A tool is neither good nor evil, nor bad nor good, because it is just totally depends how you wield it. My only criticism of VTTs is, unless you're having multiple screens open, you're not getting the nonverbal cues on speech, and people talk over each other. That's it. It allows me to do handouts easier, in my opinion, rather than typing, designing, picking the paper, and making a handout to hand out to my players or put into their folder. Then it's just a handout you put in your campaign, your design on Roll20. I use Roll20 because it's the cheapest. It's the easiest to use. It's HTML, and I know I don't recruit off Roll20, so I don't deal with all the cretins that are on there at all. I recruit exclusively from 2 Facebook groups and a handful of Discord channels. Otherwise, it is a person that a member of the group recommends that they have played with multiple times, or off the OSR Conservatory. That's it. I am very choosy who I game with anymore. I think I made videos about that. Certain types of players will flat destroy your campaign, and they'll enjoy doing it. That's what they do. They go from one game to another and shit on other people's fun. We had a player like that at our table game growing up. Phil Joe of the Hill people. And he's just like shitting on your day. Just saying. I miss my good friend, but he doesn't play. We could talk guns all day, though. He's all about it. He's obsessing about firearms now. But yeah, the VTT is just the median. It does have its own problems, and like I said, nonverbal cues. That's the big one for me. The rest is technology. You have some players who are just technologically retarded. We'll just throw it out there. Or they're stubborn. I have several players who never check the Discord. And I have other players who don't know how to use push to talk. They can't figure it out. Granted, we're all getting in our 50s, and we never used this for gaming growing up. It's just in the past decade or so that I've been using it, right? I prefer a table game. And we prefer a table game because it gives us the opportunity to interpersonal communicate with our peers. It is something that humans need. that you crave, whether you want to admit it or not. And it is fulfilling. I also love to cook. And breaking bread together is damn near a spiritual thing for me as far as I'm concerned. Same way with cooking. I can't cook with a lot of people in the kitchen or by my grill or at the smoker. I can't. You gotta go the fuck away and let me do my thing, unless they're as good as I am, or it's like a humble brag. I mean, everybody thinks they're the best grill cook in the world, and I've had people throw down these blackened hockey pucks and go, "That's how you grill." I'm like, dude, is that a sacrifice to Baal? What the hell? Medium rare all the way. Period. Or smoked. Proper temperature. So, the people who complain the most about it, I get it. Maybe they are the functionally, technically retarded, or they're obstinate in their ways. And a lot of us are set in their ways. I prefer a table game. I run VTTs exclusively. It opens up the tables to people. But I still also only game with my own peer group. So my preference is old white guys who played through the 80s. Because I try to bring an 80s feeling vibe to the table. Beer and pretzels. But a lot of the complaints about VTT are just on the technical level. And if you're open inviting on the internet, you're open inviting on the internet. Just let that sink in, all right? You get all the worst. And there are some players who strictly have to go online because they have poisoned the well at every table in their zip code. And now they're here to show you why. It's funny. So I'm very picky about my table. And I've expanded recently, and I'm like, okay, everybody's working out great. I can always tell how people got introduced into the hobby by their play style within 2 sessions. Whether that was 3E, MMOs, or 5E. I can tell very quickly. And I can tell who the old school players are. We're kind of nuanced. Because we played... I'm kind of nuanced. I've played several different editions and 7 different games over the years, and people are always barking at me, "You need to try this. This is the best game." Well, of course, you're playing it, therefore you think it's the best game. I'm playing this, therefore I think it's the best. But really, it's best suited for my table, my personal styles, as is that crap that you run. What's to argue about? No, I will flame war on the edition wars because it's just gotten progressively worse, and we cannot deny that now as we come into one D&D to rule them all, one IP to be sucked dry. We shall ruin your childhood. Ignore those faggots. We're going to make fun of it. I saw some shit about the magical half-orc pie baker, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really, Jesus, who they writing this shit for? So it's like, well, this is really written for a 13-year-old boy? No, it's written for people who want to sleep with that 13-year-old boy. That's who it's written for. Now, I tried Depp made a movie about it, putting people into the pies. It's an old European folklore trope, and I've had fun with it. I even have it currently in one of my towns, a variation on it, and no one's caught on. But, they avoid town. I'm not a big urban adventure guy either. You would not be allowed to walk around in your armor. You would not be allowed to walk around with your weapons. And in the towns that do allow it, you are being watched by the guard. So, period. And if you take the hoity-toity, I'm a special adventurer and the rules don't apply to me, then they will break you. Because the only thing that matters in town is order. And the order as imposed by the ruler. And when the ruler is called the usurper, and he sees power by poisoning his previous liege, he doesn't really care much about due process. Hope you enjoy those salt mines. But yeah, I don't get it. We prefer the table game because we want to be with our friends. We play the VTT because it's convenient. I can play in my pajamas, in my underwear, and my handouts are easier to create. And I don't have to worry about scheduling conflicts as much. Your scheduling conflicts decrease on VTT, in my personal experience, as opposed to reality, because you got to drive to people's houses. You have to get dressed. You have to make a count what you're going to eat, which means communicating with other people instead of just grabbing a snack out of the fridge while you're playing. And when you do that, folks, mute your mic. What the fuck's wrong with you? Mute your fucking mic when you're eating. Kills me. I'm one of those people who can't stand to hear people eat and chew. It grates my nerves. If you're going to drink, don't drink to excess. Don't get shit-faced while you're playing a game. I know you're at home, you're comfortable, but you know, that's just like the chaos monkey that's there to fuck up everybody's game. You're doing it accidentally because you're lit. I've been guilty of that. 2 or 3 drinks turns into 5 or 6. The next thing you know, you're like making some stupid gaming decisions because you're lit. And that's more apt to happen in the VTT game because you don't have to drive home. But yeah, VTTs are just a tool. You know, like most of the people in the hobby. Now I'm just poking fun and busting balls. Yeah, but have fun. If it works for you, great. I'd like to see the return of some the old-fashioned bulletin board games, some BBB play-by-post. That'd be cool. That way you can just check in, make your statements every, you know, how often you do, and then go about your day. It's a 5 to 10 minute thing, and you still get to RP and you get to role play, and then you can go back and you can read the full thread. It's like reading a little book, short stories for geeks, basically, right? We all remember, well, those of us who are longer in the tooth, so to speak. We remember when the game was not so cool, and only freaks and geeks played it, right? Weirdos. And you would have your occasional people who were closet D&D players. They would hang out and play, but they did not talk about it with their friends or family. It's just something they did. And they, you know, we had a football player play with us. This would not let anybody play. Not let anybody know that he played D&D with us and shit. It's people. Fads, popularity doesn't go away in high school. It just changes. It just changes. And this supposed golden age, and that was TSR. That was the 80s. That was the golden age. We say Renaissance because we know it was better. It was more fun. And now, the days, it's overcomplicated. A lot of you guys overthink your stuff. You overthink it, and then you double down. And I think it's funny. We should all be a little bit more introspective and lighthearted about shit and just light in. Don't take it personal. Who cares what some touchy faggot says about you on the internet? Who cares? I'm being a little jingoistic because I like to compress it down. You know what I'm saying? We don't. I see nothing wrong with VTTs. I would prefer a better one, and one run by a company of people that you wouldn't have to worry about your personal beliefs. Because I would prefer, if I put on there, I would list out what I was looking for in my games. This kind of people. The rest of you can fuck right off. I don't want to game with you. And that goes down to political and the alphabet people and all that. Dude, I won't game with people. I don't want to game with people I wouldn't have in my house. Period. I think that should be understood. Gatekeeping is good. Oh, I think I'm just making a video to make a video today. Seems like it. Enjoyed my coffee. It's Halloween season, so we're always busy out doing stuff. I think I went to the pumpkin house today. It's a lot of pumpkins. And Yeah. Game well. Game often. Have fun doing it. Hang with your buds. And don't sweat the small stuff. Especially when it's some random person on Twitter just trying to ruin your day. Who cares? Don't read your YouTube comments. I do. I probably shouldn't. I should probably just turn them off. I haven't been flamed in a while. But I also put up videos about me cooking. I think my bump was people checking out my weird spam videos and like, what's he? Oh, gaming? This is it. Oh my God, I'm out of here. I haven't put any travel videos up. A lot of the hikes and stuff I do, I've not just sat there and took videos of the falls like I used to. I'm just turning my phone off and being in the moment, I guess, and just relaxing. I post all that crap on Facebook, and that's an even tighter circle of people. That's just family and personal friends. It's it. I don't want to deal with the hordes of people. It's bad enough when I post in groups, I get banned for the 24 to 30 day timeout every time. Can't be honest. Just be honest, people. Later.